here roll away infested by the lifestealer of Mickey. All hearts broken, many Liquid fans would cheer, but Thunder awaken and all of Peru will forever remember this day. But that's what they are, resilient. We are the 1 HP warriors. We're the ones that survive. We're the ones that make it through. One game loss means nothing. Heroic can do it this time. Let's go!
If there's one team that's going to benefit from a crowd mob, it's Heroic. These guys have looked fantastic when they've been on that verge of elimination. They've got to be more comfortable, right? And I think hearing all those cheers out there from their fans, that's what's going to bring them that energy. I'm hoping they've had the time to really put their heads in the right space here, because think about it and come back and be more chaotic than ever. Make sure that we're seeing what South America is really made of.
Oh, for sure. I think this team comes in very well prepared. They have like double coaches that are working quite a lot. Like, it's always nice to see from and hear from them, because they always give good insights. They're not afraid to show it to the rest of us. But I think a lot of teams that are still in the tournament have hidden strategies, and I want to see something else that is going to come out from Heroic, because this one I really didn't feel that much coming out from this Queen of Pain.
Yeah.
I feel like there's been a good flex that they kept until the end. Even like the damage numbers, if you look at it, I believe he dealt 17,000 damage on Quap, pretty similar to Earthshaker, but something was just not clicking. I want to see Schofield on a bit of a different hero, something that can be more annoying. Even Queen of Pain, she does have a Blink Dagger, but some of these melee position 4s that he really excels playing at, Clockworker, Tuska, I want to see them on a heroes like that, something that can buy time, something that can relieve pressure off his mid lane, something that can have a greater impact.
To me, yeah, it's not chaotic enough. It doesn't create enough space on the map. And honestly, I thought Queen of Pain was completely imba about like 2-3 weeks ago, but the meta has changed so much since the road to TI. There's people building all of these DOMs. You know, Lycan is very popular, like tons of summon heroes. I don't think Queen of Pain is that good anymore.
Is that because of those items you're saying, that Queen of Pain has kind of fallen off?
But you also have to look at the reason, right? Why did they want the Queen of Pain there? Because they wanted a hero that could be moved around, flex, and confuse their opponents. But I think they didn't really count for the anti-mage at the end. Or maybe they did, and they figured that, oh, we could just do the co-op support, but it didn't work out. Because for their lineup to work, they really need to get away with like some sort of early game advantage so they can snowball.
Yeah.
But they just didn't do it in the game.
It felt like it was leading up to that for the support Queen of Pain, but we see double buybacks throughout the duration of this game, and I think that's going to slow. It doesn't matter what hero you play, that's going to be
Schofield's going to do that regardless, no matter what hero he's playing.
Okay, all right. You know, maybe I'm a little bit misguided on that one.
Yeah, I feel like it just came down to like the strategy that they chose, right? I think in the first game of the series, it's fine if you have some idea that you think it might work.
Yeah.
You know, you try to use a flex pick, but maybe your opponents are not aware of, and you try to lead them astray with the draft. Okay, fine, didn't work. Next game, you have to just keep your heads up, held high, and go for something else.
Our teams are waiting in the wings, eager to come back down onto the stage here, get back into their boots, and focus up. This is elimination. Heroic, if they can make it back in this series, they will have the best placement that a South American team players have ever gotten. On the side of BB team, their expectations are high. Coming into this one, especially for Pure, who achieved so much at last year's TI, it would feel like a disappointment to get top 6, and it's a feat in itself to even get this far.
Yeah, and I think BB team are also a team that having one game advantage in a series is pretty scary. Like, they're willing to pull out some crazy stuff. I think that they also play better with confidence. Pure in particular is not going to have one of these like 1 in 17 anti-mage games after just winning a game, especially with the anti-mage. You know, like he's gonna pop off in the next game. So.
I mean, also for Heroic, right? Every time they lose the first game, they kind of lose the series, right? They haven't really played any 3-game series so far, you know. So this is definitely going to be like a huge challenge. How are they going to overcome this BB team here?
Yeah, but that's funny because BB team right now on the main stage, all they've had is 3-game series. So it feels like what exactly is going to win out here in these two teams? Because BB team, there is the confidence that carries over. I 100% agree with you there, Jenkins. But sometimes it's a little bit of overconfidence. Maybe they try and think a little too far ahead.
Yeah, it's possible it's a blunder against Heroic because Heroic does like to play chaotic. If you play overconfident into that and you give them some openings, they will definitely take it.
one scary thing about BB team is whenever we talk about them, this is the one scary team that has an extremely good early stages of the game. We haven't really seen that so far at the TI. I would say that this is something that they've been lacking, but if they can start doing that as well, that they've been doing ever since they've been formed pretty much as a squad, this is going to be a very, very scary team. They already are, but imagine if they can really push the limits, win the laning stage, have that 5k gold advantage 15 minutes into the game.
Yeah, you're right.
This is a team that is extremely aggressive and knows how to close out the games early.
Historically, they've dominated lanes and then snowballed that into a dominating game, but that's just not how it's been so far.
I felt like they've been a lot more patient than compared to a couple of months before, right? I feel like whenever they were having this sort of lead before a couple of months ago, they would try to push it maybe a little bit too far, hence the throw-in nature of the team. And in this event, I feel like they have sort of addressed that. They played more defensive when they could just sit back and farm. And
they muted Pure's mic.
Yeah, and when they needed to go aggressive, they would have tried to use their buybacks and do something aggressive. So I feel like I like that balance. I like that change, and it certainly paid off. So far.
Anything else though? When you guys see this, it could potentially be Heroic's last game on a TI main stage. There's going to be some staples that you guys are eager and itching to see.
I mean, you're dangling it in front of me. I want to see the Pudge if that can come out. Like, I would love to see an early phase Meepo. It wouldn't even surprise me if BB is expecting this and that they first phase ban like these cheesy specialty heroes. I feel like Heroic backs against the wall. Like, they're going to take risks that we have not seen before because this is them right about to be eliminated.
Yeah, if they have to play like a normal game, I think it's going to be difficult for them. They have to throw things off the balance and try to surprise them.
Just first pick the Meepo. Just whip it out.
I actually wouldn't mind seeing KJ going back on that Shadow Demon as well. I know he still had a really good early game for the Chen, but there was so much when it came to team fights on the way of trying to pick up that hero. But we don't want to discuss Theorycraft anymore. Our elimination series continues between these two teams.
BB Team versus Heroic Game 2.
With BB Team up one game, they're feeling confident, they're in a good position. Our draft has already begun, and the bans and first picks coming out already, where we're going to see a Nature's Prophet for the side of BB. And of course, here we have an Earthshaker for the side of Heroic. They're going back for it. They feel like they've not lost confidence in it. And maybe it's more open to be flexed now.
It still does a lot in most of these games. So, like, you could see that BB team wanted to invade enemy triangle. They saw him going into the triangle, but they were keeping the distance, not allowing them to get instantly killed on one or two heroes potentially, but wanted to get something out, knowing that Earthshaker is still going to be very low HP after clearing those Ancients because you need to drag them close together. But again, you get very good timing on a Blink Dagger after taking the Ancients, and Analog, he did have a very good time in terms of killing the enemy carry hero.
Yes.
Pure got killed like 3 or 4 times by Earthshaker because he got that early Blink Dagger.
Nature's Prophet to me is such a classic Game 2 hero because, especially if you win Game 1, because I feel like BB thinks that they are just simply the stronger team, and if they can win the lanes, win the early game, they can absolutely up the tempo with this hero. Nature's Prophet is a lane dominator almost against anything, and very few carries can TP around and get kills and take the towers like he can.
I mean, you sort of see like a heavy emphasis on carries that can be around the map to push out waves, right? I think that's why we see it in a resurgence in anti-mage, because he's probably one of the best, right, outside Nature's Prophet to push out those lanes, and we saw it how much he could influence the state of the game by just chopping out lanes and making it difficult for your opponents, and you give your team time to get objectives.
This is very interesting, the bans
Spectre,
that just happened, seeing that they are banning out Spectre, which means that this Nature's Prophet is definitely going to be a core. So far, BB team didn't have much success with it. They only played it once, they lost that game, and Nature's Prophet at main stage TI also didn't win a single game. He's been played 5 times, didn't find much success. I think the nerfs that did happen also are not in his favor. And now you're going to be playing into Earthshaker, into Clockwork. These are two very difficult matchups for you, allowing you to get on top of him, having multiple stuns. So he needs to do a lot. Even though he builds into Hurricane Pike, he builds into a BKB, still not an easy matchup by any means.
Yeah.
If it is going on pure, I am also wondering about how susceptible it is in that early laning phase, because that has been the biggest weakness so far for pure, is how punishable is this Nature's Prophet in that first 10 minutes.
It will depend on the core that he's playing against, because Clockwork needs a core that will like actually jump on top with him and kill the Nature's Prophet. Although, great Timber pick, excellent against Clockwork, high strength hero, excellent against Earthshaker, high strength hero. 0% win rate though in the main stage.
Yeah, but why are they showing here right now? That's like the question, right? Like, if they wanted a hero like Timber, wouldn't he be better at 18? Unless there's something that's going on here, you know, like maybe one of the heroes.
I think this is a statement from BB team. They are picking a hero that has 0% win rate on main stage and 0% win rate, 0 out of 8 games, road to TI playoffs and
but
main
why,
stage.
the reason I'm confused is because they chose to ban the Puck, right? So they seem to think that the Earthshaker is not going to be mid. And now they're picking Timber, I presume, against the Earthshaker, which he wants to go mid against the Shaker. That's what I find a little bit confusing here.
I mean, one argument is Miro is level 30 Timber. It's easy to talk about, you know, the Amars of the world and forget that Miro is, like, he came onto the scene playing Timbersaw every single game. So maybe it's just a confidence thing. I also think it blocks Meepo a little bit. You don't feel as good playing Meepo into this, and I think Heroic could maybe bang it out here. We'll see. I mean, they have last pick, so they could look to get it there, but it's not going to make it through the second phase ban, or the third phase bans.
No, I don't think so at all. That's something that everyone's very cautious of, about letting them get their hands on. A Bane here as well for BB team. Kataomi's done wonders when it's been picked up. That's something that gave them success so far on this main stage as well, is when he's on that hero.
Yeah, Bane plus MP is absolute pleasure to have. You know, as a teammate, you're playing Bane. You want someone that can just come to you instantly when you catch a hero with your sleep or your Fiend's Grip. Even though it might seem like counterintuitive to pick Bane into Clockwork, because Clock is one of the worst matchups in the game for Bane. But I do feel like they put a lot of emphasis in enabling this MP. That might explain the Timber, you know. Maybe they are feeling that we need some offlaner to keep shuffling the wave and pressure. So you draw the attention to you, and then the Bane goes to you, sets out with the MP TPing in. Maybe that is the idea of their first 3 picks here.
Yeah, BB is definitely prepping to be really active, because Timber also is a hero that loves being left alone in lane. So that means they can pick a support that can run to the mid lane, play around GPK, have Pure on Nature's Prophet TP in, and Miro's just chilling, farming.
Yeah, Hero seems to agree that the Timber is going to be on the off lane, picking the TA right away. TA is like one of the better heroes against Timber in the lane. So let's see if like maybe BB team try to, you know, adjust, try to move the Timber away, or they have to try to figure out what type of support they pick to enable the lane. You know, TA is just going to be, I think, a very strong lane matchup into the Timber.
Yeah, I like this pick a lot, allowing them to have a super strong laner, and this is not gonna be an easy game for Bane by any means. He might need to shift priority. He might be need to play as a position 5 in this one, because you're playing against Earthshaker, Clockwork, One Fisher, Clockwork with the hook shot, the trap silence from Templar Assassin, just the global silence in general is gonna make things a lot more difficult for Bane than maybe he expected.
Yeah, that's a nasty silencer pick. Like, even Timber, Arcane Curse, he hates playing against this. The lane too, like just the silencer versus the Timber and lane, I think is a winning lane almost no matter what carry you have.
If you're forcing Timber to deviate from his build, okay, that's why I felt like the Timber is gonna be, there's gonna be something interesting with the Timber. So they're moving the Timber mid, they're picking a Darks here, changing the lane matchup. So they are trying to outfox Heroic in the lane. So Darks here against TA, that's a pretty good matchup here. In the lane, they need like a strong, probably strong position 4 to make sure that the silencer can't really bully the Darkseer too much.
They could still get a very good matchup for them if they want to get something like a Lifestealer maybe for themselves and use this Nature's Prophet as a support plus the Bane. I know that the Darkseer loves to have, you know, something that he can run in, some Tiny, some Tusk potentially, but overall they don't have the last pick. But after seeing this Templar Assassin, I think they use Nature's Prophet as a bit of a bait to see where the heroes are going to go and try to counter-react it, because I'm seeing Enigma as well. This is one of the few matchups that Lifestealer doesn't like to play into, and also another hero that I think overall, Whisper plays really, really well, and it would give them the momentum. I think having Templar Assassin building into Deso, having Earthshaker from the mid lane, 2 supports who can easily rotate, and they want to rotate to get that +1 for Silencer. Clockwork wants to be active. Could be that they just want to shut down the tempo that Heroic is building up.
I love the Hoodwink ban because that could be either
be a
the
carry,
or the
yeah.
4. You have to ban it for both. Because, I agree with what you're saying. Maybe not Lifestealer, like there are also other options. Faceless Void is an option there as well. Like, I mean, any hero that builds a Manta style you want against Silencer, and something to win the core-to-core matchup against TA. I guess TA is kind of solved by the Darkseer.
Do you split your band then, or are we still looking at a potential strong position forward to come out? Because you've given a lot of good carry potential for the side of BB team. Is it that easy to take it out? Is it that easy to all in that's the last pick that is required?
It could just still be a 4 for save. That's also possible. We're just thinking of like interesting flexes because they don't have the last pick.
I mean, he usually likes to play like range heroes on save. We've seen him on usually Grimstroke, Rubik, Tao Hill, Muerta.
I mean, Batrider is banned. Okay, well, that would have been great. I'm just trying to think, what are the ranged heroes that play well with Darkseer? Willow?
Yeah, Willow is okay.
It's like Bat and Willow are the 2 good ones that you can actually Ion Shell.
Yeah, but at the same time, I feel like they want more than one initiator. Right now, that's only Bane, right? If your core is going to be MP, Timber, and Darkseer, you kind of want more stuns and catch for your lineup.
And Save Lion is a classic. He lanes well with the Darkseer.
Yeah, Lion's actually really nice for their overall composition here. You have the vacuum into stun combination. So it's going to be the Dark Widow. So you have instead of the stun, you have the vacuum into multiple brambles, which can be really nice in the laning phase.
Yeah, peels through the TA refraction eventually as well between the brambles and the Willow ult.
Not a very conventional hero right now.
No.
Yeah.
It was prior to the international happening. Pro level pubs, people were spamming this.
That was before the nerfs, I think. She did take some nerfs to the Shadow Realm.
The regen in the Shadow
Right.
Realm, yeah. Doesn't feel as broken as it did before.
So what is she offering in the lane? Because you guys said that needed to be something that was really going to help
She's
the
a
Dark
pretty
Seer.
strong laner at level 1. One of the best level 1 heroes.
I was wondering where this hero's been. The mid Leshrac, it deals so much damage. The Link Dagger, you just jump in, suicide. It's like, I'm going to kill you or you're going to kill me, or maybe both.
Oh, they definitely upgraded the draft from the previous game. This draft kind of plays itself out. You're never going to be lacking damage. You have enough stuns. You have a global presence. You have very good scaling. You have heroes that come online super fast. Lashrak going for the Blink Dagger. You have Templar Assassin with your Dragonlance Deso. So it does feel like they're going to be ready relatively early on to be able to punch back against what BB Team is bringing in this one.
What I love is that they have 3 extremely high burst cores with a silencer. Like, if they cover a jump with the silence, they will kill like 2 or 3 heroes potentially. This is very strong. I think the pipe timing for Miro on Darkseer will be very important. Like the pipe in Crimson aura timing.
Yeah, they have to make sure whenever the Silencer global comes out and with the Earthshaker jumping, they need to survive that initial burst. If they can actually do that and make the fights drag out, then it will be really good for the Timber and Darkseer. But overall, I feel like execution-wise, it's a lot easier for Heroic here. Yeah. I feel like their team fights are just pretty straightforward. Laning phase also pretty straightforward. They're very, very solid lanes. So I think we are actually going to see a game 3 here.
Winter, I feel like you've changed your viewpoint. You went from not sure if Heroic were going to be able to bounce back in the series to loving exactly what they're bringing in game number 2.
Yeah, you gotta love if someone gives you something you like to see.
What do you love so much about this one, Lacoste?
I like that they are shutting down the cores as well. I feel like with the picks that they do have, it gives them a lot of momentum as well. And BB Team, they are picking heroes with very low win rate. These heroes are low win rate or have no win rate whatsoever for a good reason. Nature's Prophet didn't win on the main stage. Neversaw didn't win a single game. And they're really trying to push the limits. This is also a bit of a test. If they are going to be managing to win this one, it's also a bit of a statement for the rest of the teams that are still left in the tournament.
Yeah, I like that you're bringing up those statistics. It hasn't been working for other teams on at least 2 of their cores on the side of BB Team. And so I feel like we need some answers exactly what that coach and how this draft is going to play out.
And I can make that happen. And that, yes, I am joined by Bulk of BB Team, where I do have some questions about your draft. Timbersaw gets picked up. I don't know if you know this, 0% win rate in this tournament. It has been picked 8 times so far. Why do you like it?
Тимберсон на этом турнире выбрали уже 8 раз, но у него винрейт 0%. Почему вы продолжаете его выбирать?
Мы захотели исправить эту ситуацию и поправить этот винрейт.
We wanted to fix that win rate.
No more 0% win rate after this game. Makes sense to me. Last game, I asked Cass if he was afraid of your last pick anti-mage. He said no. Are you afraid of the analog last pick Leshrac?
В интервью тренера после прошлого пика он сказал, что он не боится вашего антимага. Боитесь ли вы их Лешрака?
Нет.
No.
I'm sorry, I didn't get that. What was it again?
Нет. No.
No.
Oh, no, that's what it was. I see. Well, then, let's see if it happens in this game number 2. Good luck, Bulk.
And luck may be needed here. It seemed like the panel liked the changes that Heroic made to their draft. I personally like to see that Whisper is going to be taking over the Earthshaker, and they got Analog a Leshrac pickup. That felt like a nasty last pick here, Avery.
There's a reason Timbersaw has been struggling this tournament. Now he's going to have to go up against another hero that can just absolutely burst and chunk him down. I'm looking to Analog to step up his game in this game too. I think he struggled the most in that game 1. It wasn't all on him. It was just a really tough game to find the angles for those Echo Slams against so many summons, so much scouting, a long-range poke lineup. You're against the anti-mage. Not the easiest Shaker game here. He gets the priority in that last pick. They put him on a super high damage dealer that can just get in the fight, play against a lot of heroes that he can just take down instantly. Looks like a great game for the Leshrac, and he has the silencer to cover him. I mean, what a silencer game. You're against Timbersaw, Darkseer, Dark Willow, Bane. This curse is going to hurt in the team fights. The global silence can bail out the grip. Looking at those 2 heroes for Heroic to have big games here in game 2 and force this into a game 3. And if you're BB Team, as the panel mentioned, you are trying to play some heroes that have not been too successful so far. Doesn't mean they can't work here, but they have been struggling.
Save in some trouble. Already used the Shadow Realm. Unless he could juke through the trees, he is gone. That's going to be first blood to Yuma. And that is quite the boon because the off lanes on both sides are suffering. Schofield will end up going down. Both supports will die, but it's Heroic who walk away with the extra bounty in first blood.
And there's some money tree action going on.
Wait,
Nature's
what?
Prophet looking for the gold bags. Not a facet we see a lot, if at all. But if you start snowballing with it, it's definitely a little extra income. I did not have this on my TI bingo card.
No, I didn't either. I do remember that it was so bad they had to buff it up. But it seemed like the numbers still weren't quite right. I guess in this matchup, it does kind of look like a free lane for them. So if you don't need the extra lane sustain out of the heal, why not, right? It's a double range matchup against a double melee matchup. Like, surely you should win this scot-free. Oh, vacuum pull back in, trying to go for KJ Fairy Fire. Ooh, he walks back into the Ion Shell and will be run down and saved. He's already healed up enough. Refraction from Yuma is quickly burned through. And he'll have to back away. No rebuttal here. Schofield, meanwhile, Fairy Fire of his own is going to be popped to stay alive.
This double melee offlane's really suffering against the double range, plus the presence from this Furion. Look towards Pure to have a big game for BB Team. He can set the pace, he can drive tempo around the map, he can TP into all these plays, give you the extra gold off the money tree sprouts. Those can go either way too, you know, anybody can pick up those bags, so you really want to snowball off this facet if you can. True. Just have some bigger presence in the earlier team fighting. Particularly if the other lanes are going to be a struggle. This Darkseer lane is not going the best for BB Team. And Yuma has had an incredible start on this TA. Despite some of the early skirmishing going both ways, he's absolutely free farming down there. And they picked up the early kill. So it's going to be another strong laning phase for Heroic. The Leshrac's going to free farm, the TA is pretty much going to free farm down there. And if they can get something out of this double melee off lane, it's another really good start to a game where they can pick up the pace. Be very interesting to see who rotates supports into mid lane first in this game as well, because you are really eyeing these 6 and 8 minute power runes, and this is an explosive matchup. start taking some of these later points in Edict, just so much damage on isolated targets fighting for those runes, or if you get an early haste or arcane, Leshrac can be devastating with it.
And frankly, if your Shaker is already kind of struggling, and he can maybe do some Fisher shenanigans to pull the lane back, why not move the Clockwork, say, into this mid lane and try and help the Lesh win that matchup?
I think Schofield has the most freedom here to decide what he wants to do. Trying to deny the water rune.
Miro chased down. The teleport will be canceled. A little bit surprising there. They were a bit low. Schofield brought low by the Nightmare. Katomi continues to menace this opposing support. He just cannot seem to use his cogs effectively at all. Every single time he tries to go for the cog hit, he just gets nightmared and hit a whole bunch.
Getting outplayed in this early game. Will at least deny the water rune out from GPK. It's a little minor win on that mid lane. That was his goal here, but another slow start for Schofield. Once more have to make it up, and this is not a game where you're going to get a huge amount of stacks up with this Clockwork and be able to fall back on that. You have to find some action around the map. Action continuing in this lane.
KJ not respecting the Shadow Realm Ion Shell combination. Maybe Yuma can, if he gets the kill on the core, it will all be worth it. But it's taking a lot of time off of lane. He still hasn't got to put the treads pick up. That'll help give him some extra movement speed to get the kill, and he does not get caught in the brambles. Perfectly manages his way through. Whisper, alone in lane, does not die. He still had some stick charges and a Lotus to burn through.
Third kill on this lane for Heroic, and a lot of solo experience going into the TA. Honestly, I think KJ, he's more than happy with that exchange. His TA is going to be ginormous. Already almost level 5. Level 6 on the Leshrac mid as well. I mean, it's Whisper being sacrificed up here a little bit, but this lane was going to be the toughest lane no matter what. You pick these heroes for the mid game, not their laning prowess. You just have to survive through it here.
Considering how well Yuma is doing, I halfway expected the Silencer, KJ, to go through the gate, maybe help out this top lane, but he's opted against it, instead playing for power runes.
They're just too weak up top. Too many resources got burned out there. That play is not available. You can look for the mid clash, however. Again, these power runes are super valuable for the Leshrac if you can secure them.
I love that, though. They already have the ward in place. They will run down KJ first, go back for the power rune, which spawns top. Works out well for them. Analog would have gotten it otherwise, but instead Katomi gets an amp damage, and he's going to pull the Leshrac underneath the tower. Now it's going to be the Clockwork who wakes up that Leshrac. Leshrac going back in with a dive he's doing massive damage onto Katomi. One kill and trying to get out. No stuns left. Save has already blown everything there, so Analog will be able to get away. Support for support trade-off.
Money bags collected for Pure. He's happy about that. Analog, did he overstep into the river?
He certainly did. Not having dive he's in trouble. Sounds goes out though, and now GPK is the one who has overextended himself. Analog, he'll tick out. Analog didn't have to run forward. KJ will collect that kill. GPK offering a respectful tip to KJ for the rotation.
It's just such a good Silencer game. They got it really late in this draft. He has great core matchups, great heroes to punish with the curse, and a great target for that global silence later. I expect a big game from King Jungles here. Pure feeling the heat of a Yuma rotation. Rocket Flare gives a little assist.
Yeah, a bit too late. If it had caught him as Pure ducked away into the trees, maybe they could have killed it, but now Whisper has been baited to go for that Pure kill. Templar Assassin can't jump into this, not with GPK. Timbersaw is showing. Analog still going to show up, though. He is so strong right now. He's going straight to Pure. That's a guaranteed kill. What else can you get out of this one? GPK tries to pick up a Yuma real quick. The refraction, blocking the damage, and missed the Timber Chain. Meanwhile, Analog, he cuts him down with that long-range chakram. The Facet comes through in the clutch for GPK, and he still has plenty of mana to work with. No more Diabolic Edict, so GPK has free reign of things. A triple kill for him.
Man, that's the kind of fight you wish you had that Silencer involved in a little bit more. 3 points in Curse. He could do some serious damage to GPK in these skirmishes.
He thought he was going to get involved there. Instead, Nightmare pulled into the Chakram. Analog, he goes for the Pure kill again, but around these Ancient Stacks and 2 heroes behind him, Analog can't go for another kill on this Nature's Prophet. Pure trying to get nice and aggressive. They know the ward's up there on the high ground, thanks to the Nightmare from earlier.
And Whisper comes to defend these stacks. Does not want to lose anything. Does not want to split the experience. He needs this Echo Slam to recover. He will get it here, uncontested.
Yeah, Schofield's going to block out Katomi. No way that he ever gets close enough. In fact, if he tries, he'll just add more experience to Whisper's coffers. Slowed down, but lightning a bit.
The hasted Timber.
Oh, yeah, that's a little scary. Oh, that hit for the Shadow Realm. Not good enough. GPK.
He wants
Are you going to try for it? Timber chain up, and he runs him down.
GPK boss gets that steal in game 1, and he is off to a 7-1 start here at the 8.5-minute mark. Just pure destruction coming out from this mid laner right now, who is on a warpath in this tournament, man.
Yeah, is there any doubt? He has to be the team, the player that is carrying his team the most in this tournament.
He is MVP in my mind right now. BB team are not here without his plays on the main stage. He'll have to go back to heal, but man, what a start for him. Playing into some tough heroes too. These are not easy heroes for the Timber to skirmish early. He really just played the fights well. You end up inside the cogs, you end up against the silencer spells, you end up against chain stun from the Shaker or the burst damage from the Lesh. Not the easiest Timbersaw game in my mind, and he's had an incredible start here. It's going to go a long way.
He is the only reason that Heroic hasn't really broken away in this
100%.
early laning phase. I mean, they're still up by a K, but it could have been so much worse, right? He gets that kill on Yuma, and that top lane rotation, that could have been just pure dying again. He's kept Analog down a bit, but he will be the center of attention for Heroic. Hook shot does land, and really no way out of this one.
Nope.
The cogs lock him in a cage, and the silence prevents any spells. Analog, he knows that he's going to have to stay one step ahead of this Timbersaw if they want to push this to a game 3.
And these smoke plays are so strong. They're not going to have a lack of damage like we saw in that game 1 where
Fisher
that play
block
got
off.
turned around.
Not needed. Whisper already has his blink dagger. He gets in front of Katomi, and they chain the stuns for another kill into Analog. Now second in net worth, and Yuma is topping out the charts.
This is a perfect pace for Heroic. They love this style of gameplay, and this draft is built for it.
You just showed so many heroes, though. Yuma, he's left alone in this bottom lane and run down by a simple 1-2 punch of a Miro wall and save with the Bedlam. That is going to cost Heroic a decent amount.
Gotta respect this Helm creep with the Darkseer Ion Shell and the potential back stomp that can come out. It's been a while since we've seen this combination, but it'll be live in this game. And all that space that the Timbersaw created allowed Miro to catch back up. He was doing farming. He was doing big stacks in the jungle, so this Darkseer's absolutely back in this game. They're trying to pick up the pace themselves.
Well, Blade pick up, but the creep is on top of him with the Ion Shell. I know Santos go out. If they can trade this out to get the kill on Pure, it'd be massive. Whisper doesn't have enough damage by it. Oh, what a Cox hit! A Sprout over to the other side. Enchant Totem to stop him, though. And Pure, he's dead. He's aggressive. He's tried to be multiple of these rotations that resulted in his death, and Whisper is taunting him all the way to the grave.
You got to have some respect for BB team. They went in this game, and they're trying to play Heroic style of Dota. They are just taking the clash, just getting aggressive, but this is a terrifying team to play this fast against because they'll take it to you every single time. I mean, these are some of the best skirmishers in the world. Schofield in his element right now.
Smoke breaking, Schofield. He'll just wait it out. GPK runs right into that brick wall.
I'll try and smoke the supports around. Tower goes down. Scan still hits on that hill. They're looking for a bigger core target in the jungle. They want Yuma right now with this grip.
Is this two-man squad good enough, though?
They land the grip. They're going to try it all in.
They got him. And long-range hook shot. The grip is stopped, but the burst damage is still there. Now Schofield, big whirling death hit underneath the tier 2 tower. Cogs on cooldown, but BB team, they'll respect what Heroic have to offer. Backing away from the cliff and the multi-shot of the tower, not worth the risk for a simple support.
First part of that smoke did not succeed up the high ground, but they get the nice flank. Yuma just not expecting 2 supports to be taking him down, but Wrath of Nature gives you that extra damage on all these plays. There, however, is the Blink Dagger for the Leshrac, and this is when this hero becomes the scariest hero on the map. You pop the Edict, you blink on anybody, they're just gone. It's way too much damage for an isolated target. Expect a quick smoke out from Heroic. Still have that global silence to back him up too, so if you go in super aggressive as Analog, you can take that kind of fight. You can rely on KJ to bail you out of a really tough situation or some grip deep in the formation.
Did he have that global for the Fiend's grip on Yuma earlier? I have to imagine if he did have it, right? He would have popped it, right?
It's true. We have not seen it used.
Maybe Yuma expected he was going to get some sort of bailout here, but let's hope that global silence is put to better use here.
This is the same smoke path. They scanned it, and they have this ward still on the high ground. Their sentry in range never killed it.
Yeah, this is insane that this is still up. BB team unaware and caught out by it once again. Global silence just in case.
I think that was a little wasted global there, but...
Yeah, that did not feel necessary at all. They had that kill guaranteed. One courier. And a second
couriers?
Pure trying to juke it through the trees. Analog and Schofield, they tried their best, but distracted by the courier, they still got it. But it is Whisper dying on the other side of the map. As the aggression from BB Team, they see all these heroes on the other side of the map. They're going to go for the Wisdom Shrine, expecting that Schofield will do the same on the Clockwork. But they're going to fight. Analog, he's going to jump right into the bait. Opts not to go for the Wisdom Shrine, gets the quick kill on the support. Can he get to the Wisdom Shrine in time? He opts for the stun. He does not want to go into melee range of this GPK Timbersaw that has been menacing the map the entire time. He takes the experience and makes a run for it.
Hook shot in 7 seconds here.
Sade, he knows I think he's given up his life to block the pass. Miro, he's run down by the dodgeball. He thinks that TP is not going to work for him. And it's GPK, the only man perhaps who can make it out. Schofield spots him. Oh, that hook shot just barely off the mark.
That is still a fight Heroic will gladly take in exchange for that shrine. They got so much of that. Some extra in for the silencer. It's up to 7 brain drain. And that Darkseer, he was the most farmed hero going into that fight. Miro quietly just having himself a game here, farming up at a very fast pace. Big kill to give away. It's your best team fighter on the side of BB. He just got locked in the cogs from Schofield, who chose to go to that fight over stealing the shrine. Absolutely the correct call. Arcane Rune in the river. Huge rune for both mids. Analog snags it. GPK not getting all the power runes he's used to. This is almost the downside for him having the best start out of everybody. Is this Timbersaw went 7-1, but you can't push your advantage into this lineup. There's too many spells that counteract you. You need defensive items. You need either super fast Lotus or super fast BKB, and I think it has to be the BKB he's eyeing up because there's just way too many disables for you to play into.
He also couldn't really use that momentum, not just because of the counters, but because his own supports don't start the fights. They can't really guarantee that heroes will stay inside the Timbersaw AoE, whether it's because of the global silence. Frankly, Heroic's heroes are just better for that, right? The Clockwork and the Earthshaker, they're going to be much more active at starting fights for their mid than BB Team could be.
Control is just more reliable here. It's also longer range. Fissure plus hookshot, you can start the fight from anywhere. This Dark Willow Bane has to get in pretty close, and that's super risky against this lineup. There's a lot of interrupt. That grip is 0% guaranteed against the global especially, but even if the global gets thrown out, there's still a lot that can stop you.
Deso online for Yuma, puts it to use, does not get the last hit on the mid tower. So missing a bit of bounty there. Analog, meanwhile, working his way through the jungle with this Invis rune, spotted out by a sentry. Did BB Team with the night vision of Kataomi. They certainly know this is coming, and he's going to be so far forward. He's going to be caught out the global silence. It hit, but the hook shot did not. Baited in by BB Team. Analog will overstep himself, and his team might be punished for it. Schofield, the Force Staff, gets him away from Pure. They will not lose anybody else for that blunder.
All 5 heroes were there to punish him. Even the Furion coming in, landing a little helping hand, and the damage is just overwhelming. Even though you get global to bail you out, you're stuck in the brambles. You're stuck in the chalk room. Just can't get out of there. If you have BKB, I mean, that looks way different, right? But that is a ways away right now.
Slowing this down is crucial. Any pickoff because of the Deso could lead to Roshan, right? But the faster you get this early Rosh on a Templar Assassin, the happier you'll be, especially if you can do it during this night cycle where it is on the Radiant side. You can continue that cycle throughout the rest of the game. You'll always have that outpost advantage.
You just want to find any sort of pickoff right now. Keep hunting, keep abusing the fact that Lesh is super strong around the map and you have good initiation. Any sort of big skirmisher fight will lead you into that objective. They'll find a little Kataomi. Nice little pickoff there. I don't think this is enough to instantly force the Roshan, especially where you are on the map, but you can chain this into something else as well. And you look at the vision right now, you would love to get some deep vision on Dire side of the map if you are Heroic. The more information you can get of where BB Team are sending their heroes, the faster you can set these plays up.
Pipe complete for the Darkseer. BB Team's...
Pure almost just TP'd into Analog up top. But they actually had a Dire ward on that camp, so they saw him.
Oh, so he was teleporting to the Ancient camp?
And then about to go in there and farm. It would have been instant death. Nice defensive ops. Saves Pure's life.
It does. Now that's the sort of pickoff that could have led to a Roshan scenario, but as it stands, Heroic with the team fight item complete of the pipe. You can't just force this. The game is beginning to slow down.
Yeah, very strong pipe game. The TA is your one solution to that pipe, but the TA is also not the hero that wants to go in and just be in the middle of all the Ion Shells, the Brambles, the Dark Willow, Chakram damage. Like, it's a little overwhelming for Yuma right now.
Until you have BKB, that refraction isn't going to last long.
Just going to say, there's a lot of heroes who are going to want an early BKB in this game just so you can take the fights with confidence and ignore a lot of the damage coming out from both lineups, because both lineups are going to struggle against early BKBs here. You're negating a lot of control and a lot of spell damage. Huge amount of survivability to come out. Both teams playing a little scared right now. Clumped on the map. Again, there's just a lack of deep vision on either side of the map. You see how many sentries were spammed through these jungles. Yeah, it's ridiculous right now.
It is.
It's just both teams are kind of playing blind, looking for the next objective, which will be this Tormentor up top. BB camping it. They're a little early to the party, but...
I mean, better to be early than late. 100%. That's what it feels like Heroic's going to be. Are they not... Do you feel like they're at a disadvantage for contesting BB team? I don't think so either. I'm surprised they're playing so passive right now, but as we say that, both teams are going to go for their own smokes. Not going to be met, not going to be surprised on a Tormentor. Instead, they will clash inside the Dire jungle where BB team do have the ward advantage with the initiation. It's going to be jumped onto the Darks here with the golden sounds over the top. Two are wiped off the face of the earth, and now Heroic want more. Can they get that? Whisper, he's going to chase after him here. The silence wearing out. GPK, he gets the Timber Chain out of there, and Heroic call it quits. Good enough for them, I think, to do the Tormentor.
Gotta take it away right now. This area is entirely Dire's vision control. So you win fights here, it's super nice. Get a chance to D-Ward, get a chance to take that objective, save. Wants to get something going.
Good four-staff. I mean, this early four-staff picker has done wonders for GPK, though. He was pulled in by this, and there's too many stuns.
Overreaching, trying to find a little opening and stall this objective up. You end up paying even more of a price. The damage is overwhelming from this lineup right now. It's just no way to take an early, easy fight if Heroic are the ones jumping you. And that was a very fast hook shot cogs, very fast blinking from Yuma. They have so much confidence to go in with their cores before all these BKBs are out because they have the global silence to back them up, whereas BB team do not.
And this jetpack could actually do a lot of work for Schofield. Helps him get out of Sprout, will help him find some of these supports, and maybe even the Nature's Prophet as he's been ratting around the map. BB team going to play to try and take this Wisdom Shrine. This is a crazy play. Schofield, he'll be Fiend's Grip right off the start.
Still gets it.
He still gets the Shrine. He will die. That's going to be triple ultimates used to kill this Clockwork. I think Heroic's perfectly fine with that.
If they can dodge fights when Global's on cooldown, that's the MO. And that's why BB team were getting aggressive. They want to fight when the Global's on cooldown. Massive opening for them, but we're just seeing, just dodge them on this cooldown, then you can regroup. When you have it up, you should have BKBs by then too. Though I say that, and Yuma opting for Daedalus instead, just wants more damage. Feels like the Global will cover him enough, especially with his other cores going in besides him.
There is a trade-off. I can see both sides of this, but do you believe this is the right item choice for him?
Honestly, yeah, the way these fights are going, I think if you get the BKB on the Lesh, he can go in, the Shaker can go in, you have the clock to create space. The grip should automatically be canceled every fight. You're not too worried about that. I think just ramping the damage faster here is going to be amazing, especially if you get an Aegis on this TA. That's when it will pay off, right? If you get 2 lives on Yuma and he went this Daedalus over the BKB, he is going to be an absolute beast in the fight. It's a very scary item for BB to play against because they just don't have the physical mitigation right now. You don't have like a Shiva's on Timber. You don't have an AC on this Furion. You can dice these heroes up.
GPK backs out right as Heroic.
No,
the Echo Slam starts things off and he's gone.
Too easy.
If they have your Shaker and the Leshrac on one target, it doesn't matter who it is. Schofield finds the extra. He's going to jetpack, keep the vision on save, and eventually his Blink Dagger should catch up to him. There's the Fisher. And a Shadow Realm trying to dodge. They're actually maybe thinking about fighting this one. Miro's going to try and TP in. This is a little crazy, though. They still have the global silence.
Yeah, what is he doing?
And now Miro's in the middle of no man's land with nobody to help him. He tries to go for his own wall. Dead again. BB team, what is going on? They're bleeding out hero after hero in fights that should just be simple pickoffs.
That is a massive blunder. You're going to feed some heroes away while Roche is on this side of the map. That is an instant draw for Heroic. They will claim this objective, and that is why this Daedalus build is going to pay off. Yuma, he knows they're stronger right now. He knows they can win the fights into the Roshan, pick the Aegis up, scale the damage. Way too fast for BB Team's lineup right now. They are now in a position where they have to find a way to stabilize this map, slow this game down, get the split push going, get some pickoffs going. That's 8 Deso charges on a minted Daedalus Templar Assassin at the 24-minute mark. That is not a hero you want to run into right now. It's just baiting the rune. This Lesh pick has been nasty this game. 9-2 for Analog. He's absolutely struck back, and there's just no clear answers to it in the short term. Now, you could maybe outscale it with Furion in the ultra late, but with Global to protect him against the limited control you have, I don't see anybody taking down Analog early in these fights now that he has BKB. And if he gets more items here, he just becomes an absolute god. I mean, you're looking at that Sanjin Yasha, you're looking at Shiva's guard, you're going to prevent a lot of the physical coming out from Pure. This Disco Pony dancing it up here.
He's getting strong, and BB Team are forced to concede parts of the map. Something you never want to hear if you've got a Nature's Prophet carry on your team.
You have your aura timing right now. That was Greaves done on Miro. He has Greaves plus the pipe.
I just don't think Pure, he's willing to fight against an Aegis, especially without his BKB.
Oh, no way.
He needs another 750 for that.
But even then, you're still not winning this man fight.
Yeah.
So you still have to find a solution to Heroic's team fight. Or just continue to rat the game out. And if you're Heroic, you would now have options because of that team fight dominance. You can leave Yuma alone with this Aegis. He's not going to be a target they go for. You can let him push. You can look for the smoke gank across the map. You can try and hunt the Furion. You can also just force the high ground and make BB come back. Doesn't mean you have to commit to that high ground, but you can get a lot of information off this and then go for that same smoke play. You have so much catch between the clock and the shaker. These kind of moves are easy. Yeah, you still have this tier 1 mid.
Every time you cross the river, you run the risk. There's just so many blink daggers, so much initiation, so many stuns. Heroic is bound to catch some of these heroes that cross over into their side of the map, catching a courier on the way too. BB Team, they're doing what they can to rat the map and try and prevent the loss of some of these objectives. Their tier 2 towers, though, will start falling with 2.5 minutes left on the Aegis. Is there any world that Heroic would ever hit the high ground to see how BB Team respond, or are we just going to systematically work our way tier 2 to tier 2?
Rather get the tier 2s off the map right now, but you can absolutely hit that high ground and try and force some heroes back. The thing is, Pure is always going to be farming. So you have to weigh this economic advantage you're gaining versus what he's going to take off the map. If you can catch him, I mean, that's the dream. Catching any core out on the map right now. Schofield, does he have a read?
It just slips right past Miro.
That's insane. Still, Yuma taking matters into his own hands. Kills.
The Terrorize goes out. Timbersaw will try and take advantage of this. The first life of Yuma, they're burning through this refraction. BKB goes out from Analog, and a quick echo slam for Whisperer. Knock it down 2. Miro, he gets a force tap to save his life. Analog's fighting up against the physical damage. Pure pops no BKB. Down. He makes the commitment to Leshrac, and he gets it. Meanwhile, Yuma, on his second life, almost dies here. Goes back against Pure. Knows that BKB is going to wear out. Knows that the stuns are coming in with the cogs pushing him around. They do have this nightmare in the back line, so Yuma just can't get down to this cliff. Schofield and Whisper, the 2-man tag team of stuns. They can't get the kill on Miro right away, but they'll get it on Pure, and Yuma cleans up both.
The control tag team from Heroic getting the job done where the damage falls. This shaker was massive. Double echo slam coming out from Whisper off the minted refresher. Absolutely feeling himself right here. Just decimates that fight that was once looking good for BB. Gets turned around with overwhelming damage from this offlaner. That's a buyback on the Bane for no result. And there's a little high ground poke. That was a scary fight for Heroic, though. They got caught on that ramp choke point into some wall illusions off the TA. The Darkseer Ion Shell was doing a lot of work there. Pure had a pretty good early start to that fight, bringing the Leshrac down with some decent damage out of this Furion. That got a little dicey.
They were able to kite around this Templar Assassin a lot, but this was your one shot. This was where Yuma was maybe a bit out of position and doesn't have that BKB. You won't have another opportunity like this. The BKB is going to be done by the next time you go for a team fight like this.
And a lot of that echo damage did go into the Darkster who had that pipe, so Miro was able to tank it. At this point, kind of, if you can get out, it's an okay-ish outcome, but man, the control from Heroic is just overwhelming, and there will always catch you. Power of the clockwork here. Schofield's just in the middle of you, causing chaos. Not a target you want to focus. Sets up the return from Yuma. Collects some more Deso charges here, up to 16 off that fight.
Oh yeah, he's huge. Analog. Oh, he runs into him and Yules. Save. He's faster than Analog. The BKB will be forced. You got to get out of here. Save. He does manage to get a helpful force staff to get away here. GPK is going to go for it. Now that Analog's BKB is on cooldown, but the global sounds over the top of that BKB. GPK, he is left with no offense, no bite.
Whisper has an Echo Slam here.
I can't believe they're right next to each other. Jesus, what is happening? A Fisher goes out, and Whisper is getting some stuns and Echo Slam on the two of them. GPK is in trouble. He got baited into a fight he was not prepared for. Not with Yuma. 1,000 damage crits raining in on BB Team. Another stun. That'll stop the Bane. There goes the Dark Willow. And BB Team on the ropes now. They managed to hold on with their barracks left alive because of the glyph before. Now there's nothing left to protect their base.
This is a lane for sure. Yuma's going to clean house here. Another great Echo Slam from Whisper. Probably not the way he wanted to get it, but he'll take it. An immense amount of damage going into the Timber. Yuma cleans it up. No BKB on GPK because he used it earlier, and the Global Silence canceled the grip that was on the clockwork on the back of that fight. So you don't have grip to throw into those cores later on. I mean, this Silencer is just ruining the Bane's day.
Oh, Puri's walking into a ward.
Oh, they see him.
He's got a BKB, but they've got the stuns. They've got the instant hits.
Yeah, that is some overwhelming damage.
Double wards in this jungle area. Heroic knew exactly what Pure's playbook was going to be. When he's behind like this on the Furion, he's going to play to your side of the map, and Heroic were more than prepared for enough for that.
Just look to the camps on the sides, right? There's only a few places he's going to go, and you know he wants to go to some of those ancient camps. They've been setting up for multiple times in this game, especially with the vision from the clock and the TA traps. Put wards on top of that, and you have a lot to play with. This game is firmly in Heroic's grasp right now.
All that's left is to get another Roshan, and then you can start to think about ending things. BB Team, I mean, if you're on their side of the equation, what are you looking at? What is the opening that could possibly bring them back into this game?
Baiting out early usage of BKBs or Global Silence will create an opening in that team fight. That is very difficult to do without getting punished, though, because of the range on the catch, right? The other opening is Massive Vacuum.
Yeah.
It sounds a little difficult to get here, but in theory, if you can vacuum 3 or 4 heroes, you have some spells to combo with it. You have to terrorize off the Dark Willow, you have Brambles, you have potential Centaur Stomp off a Dom Creep, you have Chakrams that can go through and dice everybody up. A Massive Vacuum into a wall, create a bunch of illusions, make that fight chaotic for Heroic can be another pathway to victory here, but I think it has to be one of those two options.
I mean, that timing is tight. Vacuum into Terrorize?
Yeah, it's not easy against the BKBs that are now available for Heroic.
Heroic will lay claim to that Roshan and that Aegis, but allow them to go high ground once again, take the outpost as well. Every little thing you could ask for is going the way of Heroic for this next high ground push at 33 minutes. Yeah. All that's left is another pickoff to make it that much easier for them.
I've been watching Pure TP, and his TP decision making is not easy. You look at how much Radiant Vision is on some of these camps. It's like pick your poison. You have to pick the one camp that is not spotted and then try and get out. That is not the one you want to pick.
That's not the one. That's not the one. Whisper. Oh, this could be the death blow. Back to back, side of the map pickoffs on Pure.
Read him like a book. It's just nowhere to go. He's just playing Minesweeper out here. Too much vision control on Radiant side of the map, and you don't want to keep farming your own because your team also has to get something right now. Nowhere safe to go for this Furion. Nowhere safe for GPK either. He's going to have to forced to pop BKB. No teleport available. Is already canceled.
BK knows his life is forfeit. Does a little dance. Whisper, he's going to be chased. You do manage to catch him before the Blink Dagger comes back up. He turns around the Echo Slam, does what damage he can. His team is making their way here. KJ's now here. He slows him down. Thanks to the 4-step, Whisper can turn back around. The BKB will last long enough, but save. Big hit there, and a Fissure to finish him off. They couldn't get the Earthshaker. They'll catch both Save and Katomi. Worse comes to worse. They're losing their tier 3. They're losing their second lane of barracks, while Pure is still dead for another 30 seconds.
And there's a refresh